Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another Summoners War video. We're back in RTA and this is going to be more of an informative video. I'm not going to be playing any games. I might show some replays. It's a video talking about a certain unit that I thought that I was building correctly this whole time, and I thought it was actually runed very well. However, I was wrong, and I have changed the build after getting a lot of feedback from Guardian players. If you guys want to know where I'm getting this feedback, it's mostly from Korean Guardian players, especially some that are in my guild that have connections with G3 Korean players because they have their own cafe and so on and so forth. So I have been getting references from their build on how to use this unit. This particular unit still has a lot of talk going around sometimes, especially in the lower ranks. However, it's extremely popular in RTA, G1, G2, G3, and that unit is KINKI. For me, till this time, I thought going a tanky KINKI with plus 120, 130, 140 speed, and I guess attack-wise, just plus 1000 was good enough. However, I was totally wrong. The aspect in RTA is that when a unit gets to do damage, it needs to do damage. I'm going to show you guys the build on my KINKI because it was referenced from those Guardian players and talk about why it's built this way and what's actually lacking in my KINKI still compared to those Guardian players. If any of you guys are struggling in C2, C3, and you guys have KINKI, maybe try and build it the way I have it built right now. I specifically felt the difference. There was a huge difference after I made the change. In my head, I was like, no way. I mean, it's just gonna die. But that wasn't the case. KINKI's passive is still very strong, even after so many nerfs. And with this current build, it actually could change the game. The KINKI build that you're gonna see right now on the screen, there are some things that are the same, right? Obviously the bottom four here. 100 res is like a given. I think for every KINKIs in RTA, you have to build it on 100 res. And the flaw in mine is that the accuracy is a little low. The higher the accuracy, the better. The fact that this unit could defense break skill 1 and then proc into skill 2 can output a lot of damage, especially with the build that you see on top here. Before, my KINKI usually has plus like 120 speed. Defense is around the same place or a little higher. I think I've shown builds where my defense was like plus 700. But this is the biggest difference right here, the attack. Plus 1800 attack. I think this is the mark that Guardian players like it, at least from the people that I got references from. They like KINKIs with plus 18, 1900 attack. And that's like a goal for them, for a good KINKI. HP plus 20k is more than enough. I've actually seen Skit, a G3 Korean player, use KINKI. He uses KINKI a lot, and his KINKI only has 17,000 HP. So it's even lower than mine. His does have 10 more speed. I think it's plus 120. So for my KINKI, that's where the flaw is. It's a little slower than you really want it to be. I think plus 120 is like the optimal speed. And then accuracy a little higher is obviously better. But other than that, I have gotten everything else that the Guardian player wanted a KINKI to have. Mine's on Violent Nemesis. Again, Nemesis brings in that extra chance for the KINKI to take more turn. Usually I would go for Violent Endure because it simply gives me more stats. I compared the two and I think it's a difference of like 50 attack and probably a couple more speed. It's actually a decent trade-off. I think I have no downside of going that Endure build rather than a Nemesis build because yes, I won't gain attack bar, but I'll have more stats. This one, I will gain attack bar, well, I have a little more stats. It's really your preference, but I think if you could get this kind of stat with whatever set, go with it. For me, I was able to get it with Nemesis, and that adds in a little more, right, due to the effect of the rune set. So I just went with Nemesis. The entire mindset of building a KINKI this way is that when it revenges or when it takes a turn, when it uses skill 2, it needs to kill, or at least it has to do enough damage to create a big impact. I think another rule is that in RTA, as time progresses, HP gets lower and attacks go higher. In a prolonged fight, essentially, when you have a KINKI in the field, it's usually a prolonged fight, especially if you're going against another second turn team. The HP doesn't really help in the end because HP gets so low where any attack will technically not proc his revenge. The point of this build is that it has an impact in the early stages of the match. The problem is, in today's meta, there's a lot of things that already do decent damage to KINKI, even with high HP, so it doesn't proc the defense break. A very common counter you see probably in the higher ranks, C3, G1, G2. Fire Monkey with 10 stacks, or is it 20 stacks? What is it? 10 stacks. 10 stacks, skill 2, doesn't proc KINKI's passive. Veramos doesn't proc it. Skill 1, if you make it a high attack build and that does more damage on light, it doesn't proc KINKI's passive. Another one, obviously, is Miles, doesn't proc KINKI's passive. Another common one is Camila. And this one is another type of unit that you go full on damage, more damage heavy build because she has an innate passive that reduces damage. So you actually want it to have an impact in the game. Again, I'm just going to talk about it in this perspective of KINKI. So Camila's skill 2 does not proc KINKI's passive. And there's more, guys, there's more. Like, there should be other units that doesn't proc KINKI's passive due to the fact that there are so many counters like this. Not even a counter, but in the end, due to the aspect of how RTA works, KINKI being on high HP isn't too beneficial later in the game. Instead, you put it on high attack. You give it decent accuracy. So I believe I have an artifact that does have more accuracy on skill 1, so that it could make a huge impact in the game when it gains a turn. And I'm going to show you guys some of the replays that show that. A little update on my RTA journey. I played a little more. My victory rate did fall. I had a very long losing streak yesterday. Let me show you guys some of the examples where KINKI shines. So here's a good one. So I bring out my usual LD5, right, as my first pick, but then you can see I pivoted to KINKI and then counter picks, okay? Ban the passive. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how much of an impact that this KINKI does in this game. We did take first turn. What's this guy's name? I forgot. It's really fast, whatever it is. I tried to land a defense break on something to kill. I'm gonna kill the Morph first because it's pretty much the squishiest unit. There you go. Just go for it. Big damage. 21k. 21k on the defense broken unit. That's huge. That's actually huge. And we did decent damage against that Miles. Now, do you think this Miles could survive my KINKI damage? If you kill this Miles, it's over. Look at that. Look at that damage. He can't touch my KINKI because only Miles could do so much damage where he doesn't proc the passive, even though that the KINKI is on a damage centric build. It's on HP attack. There you go. Miles dead. Skill 2. If it was a KINKI build that had less attack, it wouldn't be this impactful. Like, maybe that more would have survived another turn. It would have taken more turns for the KINKI to kill the Miles. Maybe we needed more help from the Wind Panda, but no. We didn't need that. After he was defense broken, it was done. The skill 2 did more than enough damage to kill that Miles. There's another battle here. What's that first pick? Heigen KINKI. He's very fire heavy, so I bring out the Minato. So this is more about counter picks, right? He left my Minato. This might be a Minato showcase, but let's see how well my KINKI performs here. Let's see how long it takes for us to kill that Tessarion. So our KINKI is kind of failing to land that defense break, but that's fine. His accuracy is a little low. He's not the main defense breaker. If he gets a defense break, that's great, but oh well. There you go, defense break. He should be scared right now. Very scared. Skill 2, how much damage is this? 16k. He's gone. He's gone. I mean, if we kill that Suiki, it's over again, right? Yeah, it does look like pretty much of a Minato showcase now because Minato is taking all the credit. 100 res, this is why you need 100 res on KINKI, right? Suiki is a very common pick as soon as you go up to C3, G1. Oh, look at that. I'm just waiting for skill 2. Just imagine the damage we'll do on skill 2. There's the proc. Boom! That's insane. I mean, it wasn't too much on the Suiki 8k, but it was more than enough. Man, let's see a battle against a Korean player. And he had more points than me at this time. It's a Tian Lane user. I don't know why he picked Tian Lane, but I guess it is a decent Wajet counter because of the attack bar boost. Counter picks. Let's see how our KINKI does. He got the stun on my Wajet. Very lucky, very good proc. I think a lot of people hate the fact the mouse has like a 90% to proc on the first turn. It's fine, it's fine. But our Wajet is very, very close to dying. We're just trying to kill that. Look at that. That was one proc and one shot. Yes, that's more of Minato's crazy damage, but I mean he did proc as well with his miles, right? Okay, Minato, look at this. Defense break, look at the damage, 5k per hit. 5k per, well not 5k per hit, because I think the first hit defense broke him. Oh, he was very lucky there. So no more defense break, right? Look, we're gonna be very close on defense breaking somebody. I think this was a crazy game. There's that defense break. We get the attack bug from Riley. Okay, he killed the Minato. But right now, my KINKI is ready. Look at this. Boom! 31k onto that defense broken unit. Guys, 4k per hit. That's just insane. That damage. This is why you need a high damage KINKI. And I was so wrong. I thought, giving it plus 30k HP and having, plus 1000 attack will be more than enough. But no, that's not how the Guardians player run this unit. They give it high attack. So that when it gets the turn, when it targets a defense broken unit that he could set up for himself, he could go for the kill. Let's see one more right here in my last battle. I think this is pretty good as well. My Wajet first pick doesn't change because it's just a good unit in general, right? So Hagen is just a good pick here with the strips. And then I think because he has a lot of water, I go with double wind and I could ban his last unit. Now I think Wind Panda could carry us here too, but let's see what KINKI will do. I mean, I can't say that always, one unit's gonna do everything, right? Because it is a 4-unit game here. I thought this would do damage to Minato. I don't know why. I should just autoed somebody. So I kind of wasted skill 2 there, sorry. That was just a misplay by me. I'm still very healthy. I'm very close on killing that Minato. So right now, I'm not scared, right? And I don't think he's that scared either. But my KINKI does decent damage. I mean, it's 2k per hit on a defense broken unit because he had a defense buff. But my goal is to kill Minato first because he's the main damage dealer. And Minato 2, later on, like everybody else, will do decent damage against KINKI if it's defense broken. Now I'm just trying to kill Shizuka because she doesn't have will. And he's trying to come at Wajet because it's getting lower. That was a good stun. My KINKI didn't show up right now, but he is surviving even with that low HP. It's not like if you give it 20k HP, he's not gonna survive. He still survives very, very well. Yes, you have to bring in the right team, but here it is. The skill 2 window right here. Do we kill it? Boom. 26k and it's gone. See, these are the windows that KINKI could shine. Because he's on an attack build. Because he does so much damage. If he didn't do this much damage, I probably couldn't have killed Minato there. 26k, right? I think Minatos are built on decent tankiness. Mine is at least. Because we know he's going to get targeted. But if he wasn't on an attack build, we probably wouldn't have killed the Minato. So, would anyone be scared at this point? When you have a KINKI Wind Panda, would you be scared of the Juno Shizuka? Probably not. So it was over. It was just over. I just do the damage, 9k. I didn't want to give her a defense break, but with that, we got the win. Was it only KINKI? Obviously not. But if you have the right setup and if you just wait for the moment, a KINKI on this type of build can change the match. There's a good chance it'll kill somebody. I think in all the 3-4 battles I showed you, his skill 2 did 20, 26, 30k damage to kill off 1 or 2 units. Yes, the rune requirement is pretty high. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be like, what the heck, I can't get that much attack with that much HP. But like I said, Skit had a lower HP KINKI plus 17k with the similar attack. He has faster speed, but you could do some trade-offs, and obviously it's a farming game, it's a grinding game, so just work on perfecting it. Like I always love to say, work on perfecting the unit. Give it decent runes. This is in C3. I'm talking about C3 G1 rune quality. If you're in C2, obviously you're looking for like 10% less stats than this, right? You're not gonna mimic the entire thing. You're not gonna give all your best runes to this one unit. Doesn't make sense because everything needs to be equally distributed, right? Or at least to your first 10 units, they have to all have decent efficiency for you to use them. You can't just hope that you give your best runes to KINKI and he carries everybody. Yeah, it doesn't work that way, right? As you've seen in the past fights, in the 4 battles that I showed you, it was more of a synergizing game. I had the Wind Monkey set it up. I had the Riley giving attack buff to KINKI. It's just a setup so that your KINKI or any other unit could kill something, essentially, right? So you could win the match. That was it for this video. I just wanted to say that I have built KINKI wrong, and maybe you're doing the same thing. Maybe you are still building KINKI incorrectly. Not saying that there's only one way to build KINKI, right? Because first of all, it could be on this band, but I think for RTA, Violent is better. And yeah, higher HP and lesser attack can work. I'm not saying it won't work, but I have just gotten some information that a lot of high-level Guardian players use KINKI in a very high damage build. In their data, it's probably the most optimal build where it could bring the most to the table. So I copied it, and I am seeing a lot of success with it. So I just want to let you guys know, if you guys can try it out, try it out. And I'm saying can because some people just don't have the rune quality. But if you do, if you can make a decent KINKI like this, try it out and let me know how it goes. Yeah, but that was it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys watched till now, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.